Hi everybody, my name's Alan. On behalf of the crew, I'd like to welcome you to another edition of Bridging Heaven and Earth. You know, as I'm sitting here, it just, the feeling that's coming over, the sense is that just literally how fortunate we are, how blessed we are to have so many extraordinary beings coming on this planet with so many messages and so many just tools and ways and workshops and music and art and lessons to help us know love, to come into what we know is our true sense, our true being. That so many people from all over the world, every age, every religion, every nationality, are just being gifted with incredible experiences, incredible information, incredible realizations that they, in a sense, feel that it's their service, their destiny, their life, their passion, their commitment, their unrelenting necessity, in a sense, is to share that gift, to share that passion. I mean, I see it here with the bridging crew, that to just come together and to be able to film these shows and to film the I Ams and to see all this incredible healing art from all over the world. People are just so joyous and so feeling so blessed and fortunate. And that's true for all of us now. Anywhere we want to look, really, that information is available, almost in every language, in every way of saying it, it's just available. It's just available and available and available. And it's our gift that the hunger is there in us to seek it out. And if we seek it out now, in one way or another, in one language, in one format, in one sense, in one tradition, in one person, in one knowledge base, in one type of system or type of tradition, it is available now. And it's coming through in such a clear way. And the root for all of these people, in one sense or another, you've seen a lot of them on the bridging shows, you've seen a lot of them on YouTube, and there are literally more and more stations and people certainly on the internet, where this information, where this energy, where this vibration is just being made available in such a clear and pure and passionate way. And what the message is really love is the question and love is the answer. No matter what comes above that, no matter what the language is, no matter what the tradition is, the root, the heart, the center of it all is love is the question, love is the answer. It's a feeling that humans can have, and we are sensing it more and more as a human species, is that we are infinite beings, and that everyone is included in that infinity. That everyone is infinite, everyone is included, and everyone basically is either made of, or however you would want to look at it, is unconditional love. That is our birthright, that is our destiny. Even though perhaps it doesn't look like it on this earth at this moment. There looks like separation, there looks like division, there looks like ways of being where we're separate, where we're not connected. And yet, in our heart, in the root of our being, we know that that's really not true. And tonight's guest is another one of those incredible beings who's dedicated her life in a passionate, unrelenting way to feeling the love, sharing the love, to getting information out that leads us more and more into that experience. Stephanie South, also known as the Red Queen. She's a magical author, she's a visionary. She's the author of the book 2012 Biography of a Time Traveler and Time Synchronicity and Calendar Change, the visionary life and work of Jose Arguelles. And Jose is an amazing being who passed, but I mean, if you want to see a really beautiful interview, go to YouTube or Vimeo or go to Google and go put in Bridging Heaven and Earth show number 159 with Jose Arguelles. And you'll see just what an incredible being he was. And she, Stephanie, is a protege and partner of his for the last 10 years of his life, worked on the Noosphere project, the Noosphere 2 project, which was an exploration into the inner realms of consciousness based on galactic time science. Pretty amazing stuff. And she's finishing a new book that she's writing, Accessing Your Multidimensional Self. And her life is just dedicated to promoting and experiencing and sharing the new frequencies of love, truth, oneness, and wholeness. So, I mean, it's really a great honor. She's been basically in retreat for a long time writing these books. She co-authored a 7-volume series, the Cosmic History Chronicles. I mean, she's been an incredible being, serving the love, serving the truth, serving oneness for a long time. And she's here with us. And as most of you know, we're in the middle of an extraordinary international healing art project that came to us here at Bridging as a dream, as a vision, as basically a healing that separation, healing the heart of the planet, being an acupuncture for the planet. Where we reached out to the world and say, we will use this bridging format, this bridging distribution system to get that energy of inclusion, of the infinite out. Anybody who wants to produce a new original piece based on the theme Bridging Heaven and Earth, any size, any format, any skill level, any age, get it to us here in California. We'll put it on the bridging shows. We'll have it in art exhibits. We'll have it in the studio here on a rotating basis. We have a beautiful gallery studio where we're filming the show now. Hopefully soon we'll get in museums and hospitals to, really help children and help people who need that healing energy. And up until this point, we've received over 400 pieces from all over the world, literally every continent on the planet, of collages and glass and fused glass and acrylics, oils, sculptures, jewelry, literally from all over the planet. as I've said many times in the shows, if you want to be inspired, go to Heaven to Earth Art, heaventoearthart.com, and just go page after page and see this incredible art, all new original pieces based on the theme Bridging Heaven and Earth that have come in as part of this project. And probably there are another, in addition to that 400, 600 people who have committed to do a piece and want to do a piece. They just haven't manifested yet because there's no deadline, no time frames, no paperwork. It's about building new paradigms, about just being in cooperation together, in creativity together, in service together, in love together. So tonight we have two pieces of incredible healing art that came in from Ruben Linus. He's also known as Red Solar Skywalker. And he did a piece, Heaven on Earth. And then part of the Bridging family, Donna Ray Swartwood, has done a beautiful collage, a rainbow bridge of flowering Heaven on Earth. Two beautiful, beautiful pieces whose energy and alignment is with Stephanie and the law of time and all the play work that she's been doing over these years. So we have those two art pieces. And then Ruben has also done a law of time video, and we're going to show that in two parts, which is very powerful and very informational, timely, powerful, and beautiful. So we have a really wonderful show available tonight, and love is the question and love is the answer. So join me in a short meditation, then we'll have the first half of the law of time video that Ruben put together with Stephanie, and just, it's just about us coming together and sharing the love, feeling the love and sharing the love. So join me in a short meditation. Thank you. So we're going to see the first half of this beautiful Law of Time video. It's channeling of the galactic seed, and a special thanks to Ruben Linus, Stephanie, Jose. It's beautiful. Settle in. Just have a beautiful opportunity to be together again. So enjoy.
At the conclusion of the cycle, Earth and everything on it will be restored as dynamic elements of cosmic history. Cosmic history is a yoga that joins the spectrum of the dimensions, unifying the spectrum of the field of imagination and the field of manifestation. It shows how the processes of the phenomenal world are informed by structures of intelligence that exist in the higher dimensions. In 2012, the Earth will experience a dimensional shift. The programs that had prevailed for the previous 5,000 years will be dissolved. A new set of precepts will be established within the planetary mind of the noosphere. This will be the first stage of the new evolutionary being, the superhuman. This being will be in tune with the sun and with the field of galactic consciousness. Life will take on radically different patterns to ground this expanded sphere of consciousness. Creation comes from thought. All structures are formed in the mind. Creation descends from the sixth-dimensional information of light grids and codes. These are then transduced in the fifth-dimensional electrical energy structures. In the fourth dimension, these energy structures are translated into a variety of imaginal and etheric images that inform the subtle body. In the third dimensional form, these images become new norms of perception and behavior. When we talk about a dimensional phase shift, we are talking about a shift in the patterns that ultimately affect our relationship to ourselves and the universe. Whereas in the cycle of history, the perceptions were bound by third-dimensional norms of materialism. In the redemption of galactic future following 2012, we will be functioning as entities now absorbed into a cosmic civilization. This process will attune us to the way in which we are actually solar cosmic functions. The components of information that define the phenomenal world are stored in the Cosmic History core and accessed through the Psi Bank, the self-regulating mechanism of the noosphere. As we approach 2012, we will be coming into phase with the Cosmic History core. This is the basis of all gnosis or intuitive knowledge. We already know. Once we are totally in phase, we will be synchronized with the larger program that is being played from the solar core and received in the Earth's noosphere. Cosmic history becomes self-regulating information activated by the awakened human intelligence, operating in resonance with the fourth-dimensional program originating in the Sun. The pattern of Earth's society will be in the form of a planetary Tolan, or enlightened society. All of the effort gone into promoting the 13-moon calendar was preparation for the closing of the cycle. The meaning of the closing of the cycle is the reintegration of the human consciousness into the solar ring, through the application of the correct standard of measure. The 13-moon 28-day orbital cycle encloses human consciousness into the solar field. It's all a matter of solar frequencies engaging the Earth's orbits, the solar ring, through the human mind being re-engaged by the proper instrument of measure. By engaging the Earth again within the solar ring, the principle of the absolute conservation of energy is reinstated. Currently, this planet is experiencing an absolute depletion of cosmic energy. When you have the absolute conservation of energy, the cycle is closed. Closing the cycle means knowing how to place the Earth in its solar ring, and in its correct frequency range with the Sun. This is why it is called the dawning of the sixth sun, the sun of solar cosmic consciousness. This is what the Galactic Maya foresaw. This is what the Mayan prophecies are all about. For the Galactic Mayans, this is the fulfillment of a vast engineering project in time. They could predict all the projections of thought and know exactly when this trajectory of thought would reach a critical mass and affect changes in society and the historical process. They knew this would mark the climax of history, which would accelerate into a dimensional phase. Now the unprecedented promise of consciously entering a new cycle has begun. Because the great cycle closes, it opens again, becoming the endlessness of cosmic consciousness.
Hi everybody, welcome back. So that was a powerful video. So thanks Ruben, Stephanie, Jose. So that was the law of time, and we'll see a second part of it coming later, channeling of galactic seed. So welcome, Stephanie. It's great to have you.
It's great to be here.
Yeah. before we get started, why don't you talk, this is, one of your associates, Ruben, and the law of time. So why don't you talk about, what this means and some of the symbolism and things like that?
Okay. Well, the rainbow, of course, is the most universal symbol that we have, indicating the oneness and the love and the unity. And the rainbow around the earth, what that signifies is the time when all of our highest dreams comes true. This is the vision of supreme unity and supreme love. When the rainbow bridge appears, no negativity or anything can get into our planet anymore. And so the rainbow in each of our hearts, the rainbow bridge in each of our hearts is a really healing image to hold in our hearts all the time. I use it as my inner screensaver. And this is the banner of peace. This is the Nicholas Roerich, the Russian mystic and painter. This is the banner of peace is the official logo for the 13 Moon Calendar Change Peace Movement, as adopted by Jose Arguelles. And so this comes from Nicholas Roerich, and it's a symbol that's meant to fly. It's a flag that's meant to fly during times of war to indicate peace. And right here you see T of E equals art. This is the formulation of the law of time. It means that time is art. Like, time is not money, but time is art, and everything we do is art. It's energy factored by time equals art. So all of our life, what we're doing right now is making art. And then the image of the new birth or the new child is the image of the new paradigm that we're all birthing right now, the rainbow, the paradigm of the rainbow unity and of the love and equality on the planet.
Wow. So that's by Ruben, Heaven on Earth, beautiful.
Yeah.
So people must be wondering, I said your name is Stephanie South and also the Red Queen.
Right.
Why don't you talk a little about how that
Sure.
came to be?
Sure. Well, the Red Queen comes from, that's a tomb in Palenque, Mexico, Chiapas. And the tomb was discovered in 1993. And so the tomb of the Red Queen, I was taken to Mexico in the year 2000, and I hadn't heard of the Red Queen before. And I had a visionary experience at the tomb of the Red Queen. And so that ties in with the tomb of Pakal Votan, who's buried in the huge temple of inscriptions right next to the tomb of the Red Queen. Now the Red Queen, it was very mysterious because the temple of inscriptions, which was the male, the great Pakal, had all these inscriptions and was in this beautiful, huge, monumental temple, work of art. But the tomb of the Red Queen had no inscriptions at all. And it was a female, and she had a matching jade mask to Pakal Votan. And so what's really interesting about it for our time is that, right now we know we're moving from the masculine-dominated, inscribed historical cycle to the more feminine, which is actually uninscribed. So it's a metaphor for my relation also with Jose Arguelles, Volum Votan, where he decoded the prophecy of Pakal Votan, and then I had the vision of the tomb of the Red Queen, and it's Temple 13, which is also the banished number, just like the feminine cycle, the 13. And so when I came to be his apprentice in 2002, we recognized that we were playing out this covenant from another time of the tomb of Pakal Votan and the tomb of the Red Queen when we begin our relation, which was a huge passing on of knowledge from the male cycle to the female cycle.
Yeah, why don't you talk about that? I know we've talked before about almost like this incredible download of unbelievable information. Why don't you share that with people?
Right. Yeah, well, first I'll just back up a little and say in 2000, when I had the first vision at the tomb of the Red Queen, before I knew anything about it, the night before we went to the pyramids, our whole group saw a large UFO, a very, very big UFO, and I'd never seen anything like that before. I felt it was my initiation for what was to come because, nothing is as it appears. And so we saw a UFO, and there was an incredible vibration that was coming from it, and I felt it was some kind of a preparation or an activation for what was to come. And so that was in 2000. I'd met Jose Arguelles in 1998 at the 28th Annual Whole Earth Festival in Davis, California, that he had begun in 1970. And I had met him at that time, and then many different things happened. I began to dream of him, like dreams that he was teaching me time travel, or dreams in different locations. It was like I had always known him and I was just remembering now. So in 2002, everything cohered in one moment, and it came to be that we came together and something unlocked, like a stargate or a portal opened when we would sit in resonance, and it was something that we knew to do, and a vast knowledge base began to pour in, and we would sit every day for 260 days, Zulkin cycle, every day for 2 or 3 hours a day. We would sit in the space and wait, and something would unlock and open, and it was as if we were elevated to some other dimension, and this vast knowledge base began to pour out, which we put into we chronicled in the 7-volume Cosmic History Chronicles.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, yeah, wow. Life is a galactic fairy tale, yeah, and the thing is it's like nothing is as it appears, and we know that we're far more than what we appear, and I always believed in magic. And I always wanted to have a fairy tale life. And I believe if you really believe that it's true, it becomes true for you. And my life is a testimony to that, and I would always pray like show me what's new. This world is really boring. When I was growing up, I was thinking like, what kind of career? Like, I don't want any careers. Like, I don't want any of that. I need something new. And so, I think you're just, some people are born with that. And I think a lot of people right now are looking for what's a new vision? What's a new vision? What's the new vision of unity? And I think that we're all seeking that.
Yeah, we talk a lot. I think it's on the website of bringing the magic back. Healing the heart and bringing the magic back.
Yeah, we need to re-enchant the planet. It really needs our magic right now, because there's so many people, as we know, that are suffering so much, and they've forgotten the dream. They've forgotten to be little children and dream. And like when we're little children, we know that anything is possible, and that's the message that I just want to remind everybody of here, is that we are all little children, and we can play, and we have. In fact, the universe is calling on us to do this, because we become so serious and so like trying to get more, and December 21st, 2012, which of course. That was a prophecy that Jose had put on the map. But what it really was the ultimate climax of collectively going away from the spirit. Collectively, you can only go so far, because we know that we're all one, and there's this magnet of love and light, like in the center, we can feel it right now, that's pulling us all back. So for me, December 21st was an interplane event, because I felt it, that we've gone as far as we can go collectively from spirit, and now we're on the return journey back to the oneness like never before. It's like I had in my meditation, I had a vision of a rubber band. Like you stretch the rubber band as far as it can go, and then it has to snap back here. And so the return journey back to the source is a lot faster, and I feel that things are going to become easier and easier for all of us, but we have to get rid of our doubts and our fears now.
So in this 7-volume set, just tell.
Yeah, well.
Why don't if you could just
tell what it is, or
what
tell
it is and what's in it, and what the main message is.
Okay, the main message is that the whole essence of the transmission is that we're going from one time. You can look at all of history. December 21st was the end of the Great Cycle, but this is just to give an analogy. You can look at all of history, like from the time that history began, as one big time release program, like a matrix, like a software program that was uploaded. It's like, and everything went bit by bit. All the great messengers, like Buddha, Jesus, Muhammad, all of and everybody else in between, and all the inventions. It's like a grand time release program, but it's like a software program, and so and what's happening now is we're going into a new time, another world, which has a whole new set of images, a whole new set. That's why all the art and everything that you're doing here is just like so inspiring and fantastic, because we need these new symbols and images. So the Cosmic History Chronicles was basically, it's called the reformulation of the human mind. So, and I know that sounds really, really big, but it's looking at, we examined everything, all of this knowledge base from a fourth or fifth dimensional, higher dimensional lens. And we saw that, okay, the Cosmic History Chronicles is a new galactic knowledge base for the new time that's now being beamed in. And on July 26, 2013, we were in Mt.Shasta for the ceremony of planetary resurrection. That's what we gathered, and that was actually the conclusion of the 26-year prophecy of the Harmonic Convergence that began in 1987. And so this was foreseen, this was one of Jose's visions, and we knew we had to go to Mt.Shasta to fulfill that vision. But what that means is that now a new galactic beam is being beamed in, like all that history, all the knowledge base, everything. We went as far as we could go with that. We've created everything that we can. Everything that was good and true will be transferred to this next beam. It's like the new Earth on some level, and all of it, and a lot of us are already experiencing that. You experience it first internally. But there's new energy coming through the sun. It's ultimately coming from the Hunab-Ku, like the main source, the one giver of movement and measure. It's being directed to different star systems and into our sun, so that we are actually, I can only speak from direct experience, but I know my dreams and meditations, I'm seeing new images, like things I've never seen before, and dreaming of new animals. And dreaming of new, and what are the new colors of the rainbow? I know there's 7 more colors on the other side, but it's almost like we can see how limited our mainframe is when we try to think of a new color, because it's almost impossible, because we see that we're just programmed to see certain colors, but there's many more colors that exist. So the Cosmic History Chronicles was a whole reformulation, a rethinking, but it was basically a download from different star systems, and it covers each of the 7 volumes is a different theme. Like there's cosmic science, which is like 4th dimensional science. There's cosmic art, like a lot about art. There's but the basic theme of it is like we're at a time of the great synthesis of knowledge, synthesizing everything that's gone before, and really like synthesizing ourselves, and really, really starting to embody and really practice at the highest level everything that we've learned now. It's like it's time for that, and that's what's vibrating in the new beam, or the new Earth. And soon we will see it. I can feel it. I see it in my visions, and I know that we all only know through our direct experience. But it's good to start talking about what's the highest dream. What are these new visions? It's because it's exciting.
And it's energetically of tremendous value, because it's really a vibration.
It's a vibration.
You know, you're raising the quantum field in a sense.
Exactly. And all the art that you have in here in this project, like I said, everybody should check this out.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, what's the website for that? Well, I'm sure
Heaven to Earth Art.
Heaven to Earth Art, because I was like so inspired when I walked in here. It was just like, 'cause it's vibrating. It's because we need to saturate the planet with beautiful things, with beautiful art, and new images.
With beautiful intention.
With beautiful intention, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, wanting to collaborate, and we've talked before, and I think I might have said it even earlier in one of the shows, that, no paperwork.
Yeah.
Just send it in on trust.
Yeah, exactly.
At the beginning, people would say, well, who owns the copyright? And it's like, don't go there.
Yeah.
You're not going there on this project, not with me. So
time is art. Time is not money. Time is art.
Right, and look at all these other people.
Yeah.
Go to the website, see the shows we do, and if you don't feel comfortable doing it, don't.
Right.
And more people say, this is really what I want to do. And I'm sure you see that too, is more and more people want to, in whatever language we use, because you're using words that probably people aren't as familiar with.
Yeah.
But still, it's like they can feel the energy,
It's
the
a
joy, the
vibration.
vibration.
Yeah, it's all vibration. That's what it is. And this whole galactic knowledge base that Jose brought through, that 13-moon, 28-day calendar, it's not even a calendar. It's a galactic tool to raise your vibration and enter you into another vibration so that we can begin to get fresh perceptions about ourselves, about our planet, because you have to have something new in order to be open to something new. Otherwise, how are we going to know? If we don't learn something new, we're just recycling all the old over and over again. And so this galactic knowledge base is, it's exciting, it's fun, it's amazing because it opens up your imaginal realm like you wouldn't believe. And that's what I always prayed for as a child. So
yeah, to go back to being a childlike again.
To go back
Not
to
that you
child,
drool
yeah.
or you can't,
Yeah. But
book a flight. It's
yeah.
just your awe and wonder.
Awe and wonder and the universe is so vast, and there's so many different star systems, there's so many different beings. This is just one incarnation here, and it's like people get so hung up on this on this particular incarnation and their problems and everything like that, and we're saying no, there's a higher vision, and we're all part of it, and we're all being called right now to really find our mission.
Yeah, our destiny, our purpose.
Our destiny, yeah.
Yeah, I know, it's pretty amazing.
But Mother Earth needs it.
Yeah, we talk about, I mean, if for 1 second every day people realize they're hurtling through space on a ball.
I know.
And what we think is reasonable.
Yeah, I know.
It's
what
Lord's
totally far
name
out.
is reasonable?
Yeah, yeah. It's completely far out to consider the nature of it. I mean, we could go deep on that one.
Yeah. All right, maybe we'll do that in the second section.
Yeah,
we'll have the second half of the video. So yeah, we're going to have the second half of that Rubin video, Red Solar Skywalker. Again, it's just a very powerful thing. And thanks for Stephanie and Rubin making it available. Jose, channeling of the galactic seed. Enjoy.
From the east, house of light. From the north, house of night. From the west, house of transformation. From the south, house of the eternal sun. From above, house of heaven. From below, house of earth. From the center, galactic source, which is everywhere at once. May everything be known as the light of mutual love. Ayum Hunab Ku Evam Maya E Ma Ho.
Hi everybody, welcome back. So that was a beautiful video, the second half. So again, thanks to Stephanie, Ruben, Red Solar Skywalker, Jose, for that beautiful video. And the incredible piece of art you're seeing in between Stephanie and I is by Donna Ray Swartwood. She's a great friend of Bridging, one of the Bridging crew, one of the Bridging family. And it's called Rainbow Bridge Flowering Heaven on Earth. It's a collage. Donna's from Ashland, Oregon, USA. And this is what Donna says about Rainbow Bridge Flowering Heaven on Earth. 3 symbols reflecting universal peace and love. 1, Pax Cultura equals peace through culture. 2, expanded circumpolar rainbow bridge equals representing one universal mind. 3, yellow galactic seed year equals 7/26/2013 ushers in galactic synchronization as the next 26,000-year cycle begins. It's taken from the 13-moon almanac of synchronicity. And this is another quote of hers. I harmonize in order to target modeling awareness. I seal the input of flowering with the galactic tone of integrity. I am guided by the power of elegance. That's beautiful. Donna, thank you, thank you, thank you. So, pretty beautiful, huh? So we were talking at the break about that really it's about love and joy and just coming together and being in service that way. Why don't you talk to that?
Talk about love?
Yeah, go ahead.
Our favorite topic.
Yeah.
Ask me a question about love.
Okay, well, the phrase I use is that we want to somehow, get rid of, in a sense, all the other identities we have and just be love in motion.
Right.
Why don't you talk about love in motion?
Well, love in motion is the only way to live. And I feel like my life, like we have to live in a constant state of surrender to the love and to the light. And in every moment we see all the suffering that's happening on the world right now. And it's really, really calling on us to really feel our heart like we've never felt it before and really expand our love to really, we need to like dream the highest dream and expand our love to envision a world where there's no more sickness, a world where everyone's smiling, a world where there's no more war, there's no more guns. And I think we need to just really begin to envision how the world will be and begin to talk about it even more and more like you do on your show. That's why these shows are so brilliant. But really start to dialogue it because we're, as we were talking earlier, we're vibrating this energy out of love and unity, and love loves to be talked about. And so we just can't talk about love enough. And I know in my own path that, I wanted to say something about Jose Arguelles, who, I spent 10 years of my life with. And I wanted to say about him is he taught me so much about unconditional love. Many people think of him as, the mind factor, harmonic convergence, the calendar. But what people don't realize is he was an incredibly loving being, and his life was dedicated to the service of the one, and all of our service takes a different form of action. But he taught me so much about love through this whole galactic mind transmission educational process. It was all based on love. The Cosmic History Chronicles were based on incredible love and incredible surrender to the one, and to wanting a new vision for the children and for the next 7 generations, something that's a more elevated vision, a more elevated way of speaking knowledge than what's gone before and created the world as we see it now. And so love and vision and art, that's where we want to live forever and ever, and it's who we are.
And in that, as we were talking earlier as well, that puts forth, actually we were talking at the break, that the 2 things human beings find so difficult here and create a lot of the
Duality.
The seeds of that is feeling excluded and feeling finite. So that once we have an experience of that oneness, that infinite, that unconditional love, like Jose would talk about, then it's almost our job to, in whatever ways we live this physical life, to vibrate as best we can, that infinite, that inclusiveness. because that's what people are missing.
That's what people are missing.
And you'd feel terrible. I mean, who wouldn't feel terrible,
It's so terrible.
feeling excluded
Yeah, or
and
feeling
finite
separate.
and
Yeah.
small
Yeah.
in this vastness instead of one with the vastness? Why don't you
Right.
talk to that a little?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think that we all have an equal opportunity. I think now is a time where we're really being asked to go within and find our own, of course, that starts with the self-love, but go in and find our own love, and our connection to the source is the only way that we can feel included. It's a divine paradox, because most people are trying and pushing out here and always feeling rejected or not worthy enough or not good enough. And we all have the same programs. We all have the same basic fundamental programs of lack of self-worth or no self-love. And the thing is like that everybody, no matter where you go, I was talking to, I think it was Joleth about this earlier, but everybody, no matter where you go, wants the same thing. Everybody wants to be loved. Everyone wants to be accepted. Everybody wants to feel that they're contributing something or of something of importance.
They're of service.
Yeah, that they're of service. And so when we know that, we can do our part when we see people in the streets or just in our day-to-day life, and we can think, like, how can I be a blessing for another person? Or how can I be a synchronicity for another person, or how can I reflect back to them their own divine love? Because it's a collective disconnection from the source, and that's why we see the world struggling so much. And the duality in the mind is just, the mind fighting itself over and over. Like, people wake up in the morning and they have really good intentions of, like, I'm gonna pray and meditate and do everything good, but by the afternoon, they're completely forgot everything that they started in the morning, their whole program. And it says that in the Holy Quran. It says, by the afternoon, the humans are lost. And so what is it with our amnesia? We forget all the time. And so that's why the Cosmic History has like a series also of different meditations to develop continuing consciousness, so that we don't fall back asleep again, so that we can stay permanently in continuing and mission consciousness, and everybody's at a different level, and it's just like we're just open and we have skillful means with whatever level anybody is at. And I think that's the highest love that we can give.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times I think people are, attempting to fix the leaves when the root, when the heart is toxic and not healthy. So you can polish a leaf or save a dolphin here, but that toxicity will move over to that rainforest. So how do we heal the root? How do we heal the heart? And I know you've been talking about that for the last 30 minutes, but I think that's really how do we heal the heart? How do we heal the root?
Yeah, I think it's, we each have to take personal responsibility first and foremost for our own heart and for our own, if each person goes inward and does their own work and just, I believe, I know in my own life that prayer and meditation really does work if you have the right intention. If you really want to change and you want to heal and you want to feel that connection and the love, that if you really set your intention and really put a strong focused prayer out, and focus is the key, to concentrate your mind on what you want and on the love, that it's like it's a feedback system, and it comes right back to you according to your intention. And so it is ask and you shall receive. And so, but not everybody wants that. And so we can't assume that everybody, some people are on the planet too, and they haven't yet exhausted the physical third dimensional pain and suffering, and that's just the lessons that they came in to learn. So we can't judge that either. It's part of the wholeness and part of the non-duality, or what we call the radial matrix. Like everything exists all at once, from the dark to the light, and that's like, but it's all God, it's all love, and it's all being held. But now it feels like that a door is opening, and we're actually all of us who are open, the opportunity has never been greater to go up an octave, to be vibrated up an octave, and for new secret doorways and pathways to open up. And that's, like I said, part of the Cosmic History Chronicles. It defines a magical pathway. It's a magical pathway that was never seen before. Like it's a magical pathway that has everything to do with synchronicity, love, and art. And when they're codes, and we're all a code. And so when you learn some of the codes, it's like a secret doorway opens that you didn't know was there before. And then all of a sudden, like something, new opportunities or things begin to appear, but it's an actual system that you can work with consciously. Like
it's almost like a tool.
It's a tool. It's a tool, and it is magical. It's like I said, the 13 moons is just a magical doorway into this vast realm called the synchronic order, and that's like it's the interconnected matrix that connects all of us. But now it's like everything's a time release program, so we're given to know more of the knowledge now, and step by step. But we can actually see this interconnected web, and there's a system, this daily 13 moon calendar, which we call synchronometer, a measure of synchronicity, opens us up to viewing things from a fourth or fifth dimensional level, from above the earth, not just like, oh, I'm having a drama today or something's happening.
Yeah, we're a little above the maze.
Yeah, that you
so
see.
It's so
you're
easy
like,
to, right.
Yeah, and you can see above it and kind of navigate your way in a whole other way. It's a brilliant tool, and that's what was brought forth by Jose Arguelles. And people don't realize it's far more than a calendar or the Maya. It's galactic Maya. Galactic Maya is not subject to any race, any nation, anything. Galactic is galactic. It supersedes all the. It's the oneness. Like I said, the galactic Maya are the masters of time and illusion.
Yeah, when you get high enough above the maze of the earth, the countries don't mean that much.
Yeah, none of it. It's
none
just
of it.
one
I mean, that's why when the
whole-
astronauts
Yeah.
literally are about 5 miles above the earth, they go,
Yeah.
what have we been doing here?
I know, it seems crazy, but
Yeah.
I think we have to develop the mind capacity to, whenever we need to lift ourselves above and look down on the whole earth and be able to view it like that. That's like, because we're capable of so much more than we think. Like, everything that the machines can do, we can ultimately do, because it all came from our mind. It all came from the mind. And so, we are the internet, and we should be able to learn how to access all of the knowledge bases, and all of that time travel, parallel universes, all of that, if we want it, is available as soon as we lift the veil and break through of our conditioning.
And so if people are watching and saying, my God, that's really true and that's really beautiful, and the tools are available in the books and all, but you found that in your own personal life, that meditation and prayer, once again.
Yeah.
So maybe just reiterate that and expand on that a little bit.
Well, meditation and the prayer was the key to this whole knowledge base, because you have to get your mind to, when I talk about the meditation, I mean, I'm talking about the one that I practice is the Dzogchen, which is the Tibetan Buddhist meditation, but it's basically just relaxing your mind into its natural state without trying to modify anything or get rid of anything. You just relax, and that's the hardest thing for people to do. And so it's like relaxing your mind into the natural state so that you can actually come into your body and you can actually feel that clarity. And from there's no way that new knowledge, that's the way new knowledge comes through, or that's the way you access your divine guidance. And it's really that simple.
There isn't a lot of static.
Yeah, there's no static, because we're so busy all the time. And I always tell people, like, especially with the internet and the texting and all of that, we have to make time for our soul and ourself away from all of that, unplugged at least for a little time each day, if we can, just to contact our own soul and check in with ourselves. Like, because when you're getting massive amounts of emails and communications, you have other people's thoughts in your mind all the time.
And energies.
And energies,
Right.
yeah. So it's like we have to just take some time to ourselves and just clear all of that out and remember what we feel like, not what other people are telling us. What do we feel? What's next for us? Because it's like we're just so full of other people's opinions right now.
Yeah, I mean, we talk a little bit about, that's why in a lot of traditions and past, it's, satsang, service, and meditation, but you'd come back to the barn. And now we get so busy and so that by the time we go to call the horses back to the barn, they're like, who can find them?
Yeah.
They're just way out there.
Exactly.
So, when you're saying every day to try to come back to who you are, what your intention is, what your purpose is such a valuable tool.
It is a valuable tool, and I think that's where we need to help each other. We can even text each other. Did you take your time today for yourself yet? did you take that, time away from it? And
Did you remember how fortunate or blessed you are?
yeah, exactly. Did you remember that you're loved and that you're loved and everybody loves you? We need that positive reinforcement so bad because we've been so,
Yeah,
everybody.
the momentum is gone.
Everybody needs
Right.
it. Yeah, we all need it. Yeah.
So, and now you're going to go out and share this vibration, this information, this energy more than you have recently. So that's a real
Yeah. I
nice
think so.
new thing for you.
Yeah. We'll see. I have literally no idea day to day how things are. Like you just keep surrendering and see what happens next. But yeah, it feels like.
Well, you have a trip planned to Brazil,
to
right?
Brazil, yeah.
And you're
coming up
meeting with a
soon.
lot of people and
Yeah.
sharing a lot of that knowledge.
Yeah, and sharing.
But you're finding a lot of people all over want to know and want new paradigms
Yeah.
and know the old is just old and
Yeah.
not really supportive
Yeah.
of love.
Yeah, and they're looking for the new vision. And what I'm working on right now is it's called Anchoring Galactic Culture on Earth. Like, how do we bridging heaven and earth? How do we bring, but this new galactic knowledge, bringing it down to earth? And we've got some different communities going called the Crest 13, setting up different communities and having different telepathic exercises and things like that. So we have different communities around the planet. And I'm right now working on a 7-year program, which includes everything, like from the art, like what can we do just for people who don't know anything about anything? What can they do? How can we get them to contribute all the way up to the people who are galactically advanced and want new teachings? And so I'm envisioning just the whole spectrum of all of these different projects. So I'm really excited.
In the old days, you'd say, "You go, girl." Yeah, really. That's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
So actually, we're coming to the end of the show. Amazing, really. So if anybody wants any information about Stephanie, her books, her workshops, where she's going to be, what's doing, the art project, please call us, Alan, 805-687-2053. For all of us, it's about being in the love, feeling the love, sharing the love. We are love.
We are love.
Good night. God bless you. Thank you for coming. Good night.